Already.
Favorite, how much can you get like this Untitled Goose Game to be your next sponsor? Like first you had Topo Chico and now you're gonna get
oh geez, yeah. I'll reach out.
Nice.
Release the mind.
I'm batting 1,000 so far, so.
Get like this Untitled.
Already.
Oh, got a little echo.
Oh, I heard my voice when I
This Untitled Goose
Game to be your.
That's my bad. Hey, we're live, everybody.
Hey.
We're
Yay!
Hi.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Hey, America. Hey, we are a continental team tonight, everybody. Thanks to Max from Chicago who's joining us.
Hey.
And also another special guest tonight. We have two special guests tonight. We have Trevor from the chat.
Yeah.
Trevor from the chat. He's here tonight too. I'm so excited for the show tonight. We need a word from the audience, so I want to ask for that word right now because of the delay. So type your words into the chat, and we'll use those. And then I want to explain the form. So this show is all of us in the cast are going to take turns telling some stories from our real lives, true stories. And then those stories are going to inspire little video bits that the cast are going to get up out of their seat, go film video bits, upload them onto our secret platform, secret exclusive platform, Instagram, and onto the stories. And then we are going to show them later in the show. Rinse and repeat. We're all going to have a really great time. So I'm so excited you could join us for tonight. Also, I want to plug, Pig has some awesome stuff coming up. We have a lot of streaming shows. We have Wilty coming up, Sitting Ducks Radio Hour. They have dates. But you know what? If you subscribe to YouTube, you're going to never miss a show. So that's the key right there. Subscribe to the Pigs YouTube right now. Hit subscribe. It doesn't bother you. You know what I mean? It's not like a thing. It just tells you when the shows are. So it's not like a thing that's going to all get obtrusive. You know,
It's not going to show up at your door.
Comfort.
Yeah,
Okay?
it won't show up at your door.
Know that, everybody.
YouTube.
So never. Okay, the words are coming in. I'm so excited. Oh yeah, everyone's so excited for the show tonight. Yeah, are we ready for story?
Yeah.
Max.
That can't be the word.
This makes me think of for a long time I was very, for some reason, I don't know, toxic masculinity, very proud of the fact that the only movie that could make me cry, weep even, was Gladiator. The Matthew Crow.
What word did you pull?
Max.
Max. I understand.
Makes sense.
That tracks.
The Russell Crowe vehicle, everyone's favorite. You know, are you not entertained? Are you not? That one. Sorry.
Gotcha.
And at one point he goes, you know, my name is Maximus Decimus Meridius. I'm general to the armies of the north. This whole thing. So that's where I got Max. But it's a very, you know, it's a sort of macho, manly macho, macho, manly macho movie. Yeah, there's like war and like and stuff like that. And just unexpected. I don't know why, but every time I would watch this movie, I would just lose my mind, start like his wife it's so sad, and there's all war and it's bad, and Joaquin Phoenix is creepy. I don't but I just, so that everybody knows, I can cry at movies now. Cry at almost every movie. The only one that I can't cry at now is Gladiator, and it makes me really, I don't know when to try it again. But so also Air Bud, one of the Air Buds is the movie that I watched. I associate it with like staying, like I watched it to soothe myself after 9/11. This is actually a serious, I was so sad. I was in bed. I was sick. I was homesick from school that day. And I could not, like everybody else, process. And the only thing that would give me comfort was crying, snotting my face off to Air Bud. And I can't remember if it was Air Bud, the original one, like the classic basketball, or Air Bud Golden Receiver. Air Bud Golden Receiver is better for the story, but I don't remember, and I won't watch either of them because I'm afraid they won't bring me the same comfort.
So speaking of crying in movies, I sort of have had like the opposite progression of emotional stability in my life that one might expect. You know, you might think that you would cry more as a youth and less as an adult. But as a kid, I only cried when Goose broke his neck in Top Gun. Spoiler alert. I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. That's a 30, 40-year-old movie. Spoiler alert. Anyway, at one point, Tom Cruise's like bestie, Goose, tries to eject out of a Top Gun fighter plane, and he like hits his head on the canopy thing and just breaks his neck, and he's just dead. And I just like lost it because Goose played the piano, right? And as young nerdy me, didn't generally watch movies with Tom Cruise in them where I could relate to a character, but I played the piano, so I related to Goose super hard. And when Goose died, I just like I lost it. And then I don't think I cried again until Armageddon, when the goodbye speech scene between, I don't know, Ben Affleck, Bruce Willis, and Lord of the Rings, Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
That scene also made me cry. But then I really didn't let myself cry again until I started going to therapy. Now we'll watch like team athletes do obstacle courses, and they'll be like, but first behind the scene, and they'll have like a coach, and the coach is like, you're doing a great job. I approve of what you're doing. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a guy giving positive feedback to somebody. And I'm just like, just sobbing. I'll watch like a violent like fight, and the person will win that wasn't supposed to win, and I'll just like sob.
I'll tell you the movie that I have cried the most to at one time, and I'm a little bit ashamed to admit it's an Owen Wilson vehicle, Marley and Me. I totally unexpected. It was like after work. My TV's on in my bedroom. I'm laying in bed watching Marley and Me, and I'm in a white t-shirt. And by the time the movie was over, the white t-shirt was wet. It was with tears. And I'm not like, I'm not, and this isn't like a macho thing. Crying isn't a thing I do a lot of, but my Lord, I don't think I've ever cried more. I mean, all the Disney movies I've cried, but not like this. This was like a family member died. I don't know if it tapped in when, the only dog I had died when I was 18, and this is years later. Maybe I never properly emoted to it. I don't know, but it was shocking. I had to change shirts. I've never cried that much. Not a bit.
Reminds me a little bit of something probably a little more uplifting than that story.
It felt good, Jared. I mean, it wasn't a bad thing. Good.
So I years of ingrained toxic masculinity and everything. I really don't cry, but I discovered during the pandemic, because I started this new thing on Saturday. I knew a year ago I started this new thing on Saturdays where I would get real high and eat a lot. But I get really high, and then I'd watch. That's the only day of the week I would watch anything on TV. Whatever was streaming, and I found that I'd never done that before, but apparently like being really stoned and changing a little emotionally, because I would start crying watching something, and during the dumbest scene in the world, it would be like some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. rerun, and somebody got a promotion on there, and that show I enjoyed, but it was objectively bad. And these ridiculous scenarios, and not even the superhero stuff. It's like two people sitting in front of a jet fighter plane talking about like boy, love sure is a tough thing, isn't it? Yeah. Just like real terrible made for TV scenarios like that.
Yeah, but they earned their promotions on that show.
They sure did. And they got tears out of me for them. Just ridiculous. And yeah, Bagley's familiar with this because it was like kind of new. So I would start texting Bagley. I had one little string where I texted him my TV screen, said Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Texted him a picture of a Kleenex box. And no dirty joke in this scenario. It's just
Man,
the dumbest ones too. Like,
that's so
It's
funny.
so funny, Jared. I feel like that started because I tried to like hang out with you on a Saturday once, and you told me like that was what you were going to be doing and why you couldn't hang out.
Oh man, I was gonna say that reminds me. Becca and I watch Survivor a lot, and every season they do a loved ones visit. And these people haven't seen their loved ones for 29 days or however many. And I often find myself like fighting back tears because I don't want Becca to notice I'm crying at these people seeing their families, in the context of the game show. But man, it gets real emotional.
Yeah, we just finished the Africa season. We watched Outback in Africa.
Nice.
And now we're going to watch them all. But yeah, no, I cried my butt off on those scenes.
It's something special.
Yeah. Awesome.
I cried a lot of movies, but I think the most embarrassing movie that I cry at is I will regularly cry at Click, the Adam Sandler movie, with like the magic remote that like time travels and stuff. And like at the end of the movie, spoiler alert for anyone who's planning on ever watching Click, he's like at the end, like Adam Sandler's character is dying and like his like family comes out and he's like sobbing about how much time he like didn't spend with his family and everything. And like it just hits really hard for an Adam Sandler movie that also has Christopher Walken in it. Like it's just, you wouldn't think it. And it's like the fact that you cried an Adam Sandler movie at all, let alone multiple times every time. It's just like
better than Little Nicky.
When he sings "I Want to Grow Old with You" on the plane in The Wedding Singer, I cry pretty consistently for that scene. I love that scene.
Wouldn't it be nice? Is that 50 First Dates? Which is a weird premise now that I think of it. But it was funny at the time. 50 First Dates, Drew Barrymore. Woo!
Oh, I love that movie. I don't know why. It's not good.
Yeah, I liked it at the time too.
Oh, this is a spoiler. There's 51 first dates. Just like
that's why I didn't recognize it. You're right. 50 first dates didn't sound familiar. 51 first dates. Yeah.
We're spoiling a lot of stuff today.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert on this whole episode.
What's that movie with the dresses? The
27 dresses?
Yeah,
27
my
dresses.
Roommate or a friend from college got very angry at me because I offhandedly said to her, it's gonna be 28 dresses. Like, because I saw the movie, and she was mad at me when she came back from seeing it. How did you know? It's called 27 dresses. I imagine the 20th dress is her wedding dress. She was furious with me.
I'm furious at that person for getting furious about 27 dresses.
Yeah, me too.
An arguably fine movie.
A very movie.
It was a movie.
Katherine Heigl doesn't bring it out of me.
Yeah, I've been watching Grey's Anatomy and I'm like, you're not that good.
No, she's too.
Her
walls are always up.
I see Max about to explode.
I love Izzy.
I liked her at first.
Which
I liked her at first.
Anatomy is from the well in I'm gonna put the lotion in the basket.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yes, which is the doctor from Silence of the Lambs. I followed a lesbian bisexual
Hannibal Lecter
on Grey's Anatomy with that
My
woman.
partner's saying Jodie Foster, but I don't know.
No, the woman in the well was also a Dr. Hahn.
Oh yeah,
I love her. I mean, she's terrible, like as a terrible character, but like I love her. Like she's a bad person, but it's fine.
I can't see
I think we're about ready to go to the gram and see what we got so far, huh?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get this ready.
Go to the gram.
Go to the gram.
Going to the gram.
Put some
Down
marshmallows on.
Right.
Yeah. So while we're going to the gram, we our house got high tech recently, so we've got an Alexa and a Roomba, and the Alexa and the Roomba talk. So I could be like, Alexa, vacuum the house, and we'll hear doop 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 from the next room, and then the vacuum's going. And like I constantly have to remind ourselves that no one's running the vacuum, and you get to name the vacuum, and Alexa says what you name the vacuum, and our vacuum's name is Stevie Sacknuts. And every time Alexa says it, it makes me laugh.
Do you want to guess who named it?
Pepper?
Yeah, I was gonna say Pepper.
It was Pepper.
Those are her
It was
first.
Pepper. It was Pepper.
Come on.
Okay, I think we're ready.
Classic Pepper movie.
On the screen.
Classic Pepper.
Okay.
Cried over this. Cried about these. I've cried over this. Outright sobbed. Everything is stable.
Well, you gotta go back. There's a whole bunch of them before this.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Look at all those dashes.
Aw.
Oh, what's going on?
I like it. We get a preview.
I feel like that's the trailer for this section. Like we just
Yeah.
saw a good
Everyone's,
trailer.
everyone's ready now.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I'm telling you, I'm the strongest
Wait, I think you gotta go back.
Back all the
You gotta
way.
hit the back
Why?
buttons there.
You gotta go super back.
Oh.
Like all the way.
Okay, we're really good. Okay.
Wait.
Is it
All the
Keep
way.
going, keep
Oh
going.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Top of
keep
the
going.
screen
Go back.
until you're at the very first dash.
Oh, Jared's bowler hat's back.
Look
Okay,
at
I'm
look at this
excited.
preview.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Spoilers.
That was from the.
We was in the city. You asked me how to get down to the candy store. Told you it was 2 streets to the right. I gave you wrong directions. Being a dick. Why are you telling me this now? Also, I changed my mind about the margarine.
Oh, these
I
are from.
really don't get what's going on here.
These are from the. That was from the warm up.
Come see our latest feature, the manly masculine movie. We've got war. We've got violence. We've got.
Hey, yeah, I'd love to watch a movie tonight. Genre? I don't know, anything in the macho, manly macho. That works for me.
times in every bar? So nice. How nice that is. Kashi.
And there was war, and there was gore, and there was blood, and there was violence, and there was. I'm sorry. I just feel weird saying kissing. You know.
No, I'm a Blitz lesbian. What? No, I don't want to pick up truck. No, I can't lift heavy things. No, I can't open a jar, or I don't kill bugs either.
Yeah. It's just autobiographical. It's fine.
Maximus Decimus Meridius. Make you cry.
Like on a scale of like 1 to Gladiator, how toxic masculine is it?
Dude, why are you crying? That was a commercial for Old Spice.
This feels like a weird wet t-shirt contest. No, don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine. Welcome to the wet t-shirt contest, contestants. Everyone take the stage, and soon we'll start showing Marley and me.
Oh.
Jesus, he seems pretty cool. Everything ends up fine for him, right?
Spoiler alert, son. The Notebook.
Oh no.
Yeah, bye.
You love her.
But bird. It looks so happy.
doing my Full House marathons.
Oh my god.
We have to get to a Bed Bath & Beyond now, guys. We gotta go.
But the best part of this promotion was just knowing how emotionally invested Jared was in it.
This. Cried about these. I've cried over this. Outright sobbed. Everything on this table. This. Just a crier.
Yeah, babe, I'm telling you, I'm the strongest man you will ever meet. I never cry, not even once in my life. I lift 500 pounds. I can do whatever other men cannot do. So you should.
Hey, Justin, what did you use for tears? Those were awesome.
Oh, I don't know. Some filter I searched for real quick.
Oh, it was a filter. I thought it was
Yeah.
like almost like fishing line. It was awesome.
Oh, that would have been creative.
It did look like it could have been fishing line. I did have a similar thought. I was like,
Yeah.
is that like
Easter
a
grass?
tinsel?
Or tinsel. Yeah, or tinsel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot of that laying around too.
That's what yeah, well, right. That's why,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. It's May. Bring out the tinsel.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
We're gonna need another word from our audience before the next set. So I'll let the words come in while I speak on the fact that Jared, the wig came back from last show.
Yeah.
It's the second time that wig
That wig,
made
man.
its debut. Are you feeling like the ROI on that wig has really worked out, the return on investment, you know what I mean? Like how much did you pay for that wig and now you've used it in 2 shows?
I was not prepared for this line of questioning at
Yeah,
all.
well,
I don't understand why you're not.
Jared, let me clear in. It's comedy gold, so it's worth a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like that wig is
Learn on first
upstaging you
dates.
at this point. That wig is upstaging you.
I've had it for about a decade. I think I got it for some
Wow.
funny photo shoot somewhere. And I'm happy for the wig to have found a new life.
Yeah. I think we all are. I think I speak with everybody really worldwide that is watching this, that we appreciate that wig.
I could tell my dad's not in the watching because he would have said, "Oh, it looks like you've got nice bias there."
Yeah, there it is.
I've got for one person.
Hey,
I've got a story inspired by one of the words.
What's the word?
Paint.
Paint.
Paint, and this is about a run-in that young I. Well, I'll just tell you the story. I don't have to tell you what it's about before I tell you the story. It's stupid. It's like, hey, here's the cliff notes of the story. Now pay attention, and like everyone's like not paying attention. Anyway, so I'm like 12 or 13, and I'm friends with this kid who's convinced me that he's actually a member of a street gang. Now, I'm very like, I've been naive kind of my whole life and pretty gullible. And especially like someone's like, I'm in a gang. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, they beat you up when you join. If you fall down, you can't join. And I'm like, he wouldn't know that if he wasn't in a gang. And like, you know, so I just believed that he was in a street gang. And so we like would like listen to Cypress Hill and like try and steal gin from our parents' liquor bottles and, you know, like doing 12 or 13-year-old shit in the mid 90s. Anyway, at some point we start like tagging things, you know, like doing graffiti. Well, like I'm a skateboarder at the time. He's not, but he hangs out with the skateboarders and kind of graffiti, which some people call vandalism, is a pretty big part of the scene. So we've got a bunch of paint markers and we're, you know, doing the cool kid thing of putting graffiti on a playground where it'll be appreciated. And, and the cops roll up, but I'm like, I'm drawing like a big ornate, like shield symbol that goes behind the C in crest, which is what I used to write. And so I'm not paying attention. The other guy, he goes, hey, hold these. And he hands me every single marker and paint marker that we have. And then he goes, oh, hey, the cops are here. And that should have been a signal that things were going badly. Now, I'm a lawyer's kid and I've read a million books. So the cops are like, we know already. You just got to tell us. And I'm like, oh, we don't tell each other's things so that if we get in trouble, we can't rat each other out. Meanwhile, they're like, yeah, but he already told us yours is this. And I'm like, oh, come on.
I'm telling you, everybody needs to be a lawyer's kid, or else you're in trouble. I mean, nobody's going to know not to rat you out.
Long story short, we end up having to clean the playground. Nobody really gets into any trouble. He convinces his mother that it was my fault, and now we weren't allowed to be friends anymore after that.
Oh.
He only tried to refriend me within the last year or so to ask me a legal question, but he had a very Trump-heavy Facebook profile at the time, and I opted not to give him.
Did you have to ask your mom if you could friend him on Facebook? Like,
I feel like all kids like who get in trouble convince both their moms that it was the other kid. I feel like that's just the default move.
Yeah.
You know, it was Brent's idea.
That reminds me of a story I can share right now. So basically, I hardly have lied to I have lied a lot to my parents, actually, never mind. But one of the biggest lie I have ever said goes something like this. So basically, me and my friends were playing in a playground, and our school had a playground which didn't have the soil. So it was basically like concrete. So if you fall, you will like break a teeth. And that's what I did. I fell and I broke half of my front tooth. So what happened was that I just went on like a field trip after that. And when I went home, I thought it was not a big deal. But my mom like freaked out. She's like, who's gonna marry you looking like that and stuff like that. It's just normal Indian mom thing. So I got so freaked out and scared that I decided to lie. So I said, no, some seniors were running around and they bumped into me. And that's how I fell. So I thought that I got away with that lie until my dad always like he was a guy who would like stand up for his kids a lot more and fight with the world and whatnot. So he basically wrote a complaint to my vice principal in the school, saying that how it's so careless that there are no rules in the school. And that's why my tooth was broken, because someone didn't take care of like how they were playing and stuff like that. So, and I got so scared, and I had to like sit in front of the principal and like agree to it and continue lying. And it got to a point that they took serious action to completely prevent anyone from playing in the playgrounds ever again. So everyone was so sad, and I was just sitting there and I was like, I did not mean this to happen this way. And it got really bad. And my principal also like came to my class and asked me to come out, and she was like, don't be afraid, this is safe space, just tell me who did this and I will take care of it. And I was like, I don't know, I fell on the ground, so I don't remember seeing their faces, so I cannot blame anyone. But yeah, so most of my school kids don't know that, like my school friends don't know that I was the reason why they could not play in the playground.
That reminds me back in I led a life of crime at 5 years old. I'll admit it now. The statute of limitations. Oh, Bagley's not on camera, so I can't get a validation on this. But statute of limitations is up. When I was 5, I was hanging around with some older kids in the neighborhood, and I had a crabapple tree in my backyard, and we were chucking crab apples onto my neighbors. Our backyards abutted, and they had a garage, and we were throwing the crab apples up on the roof and watching them roll down. So we're doing this for a while, and all of a sudden the cops roll up, and we had stopped throwing the crab apples by the time they rolled up, but they had been called by my neighbor, and they said, hey, have you kids been throwing crab apples on the garage over there? And we know, the older kids are like, no, I mean, because they're hardened criminals. I'm just starting my life of crime at 5. And so they they said no. And then I, needing to put my 2 cents on it, said, and if we would be sure to stop. So yeah, that was that. I'm a criminal mastermind. No one knew what was up. Yeah. So yeah. So that's my And now that's here I am today.
You come far along.
That reminds me of just like, again, also being like 5 and stuff. There was like one time where my mom and I went to the farmer's market near our house, and I had just seen Aladdin for the first time. And being 5 and having no concept of how that movie like actually works, all I know is that like he like took a like thing of bread, or like he took this thing and just like a musical number, and it's like, oh, anything musical numbers is fine. And so I like was passing by like an orange stand, and I just like took an orange, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a thing, this is fine. And then like my mom saw it immediately, like ran it back to like the the stand in the farmer's market, and was just like super apologetic, being like, I'm so sorry. And it's like, but Aladdin did, and why can't I do it?
Are we sorry, Miranda, I just came in. Are we talking about bread stealing scene from Aladdin?
Yeah.
Teaching children about the horrors of capitalism, among other things.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Maybe I got a different thing out of that movie as a child than I should have, but
I once with my friends, we put on Aladdin in the basement of their house, and charged our parents money to come see it. Our version of Aladdin. I got to play the genie.
Oh, perfect.
It was great. Yeah, we did a lot of plays. We did Jesus Christ Superstar once. That was a good one. That one had the most production value. What's that?
Who were you in that?
I was both Pontius Pilate and King Herod in Jesus Christ Superstar. Those are great roles.
I've always wanted to do King Herod.
Yeah, it's a great role. I've always wanted to be Judas, but I don't have the range.
I don't have the range for anything, but I can dream it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
Is it time for the gram?
Yeah, I think it's time for the gram.
Time for the gram. We need some music for that. We need to have.
I mean, we know that we can come up with our own song. I keep thinking that we should put the Word and Go there out as a single, but
hey, that thing's hot. That thing bops, as the kids say. That's a bop.
That's a bop. Slappy bop.
Yeah.
There's one thing kids say about.
Next 401 Gives Day is just we release that as a charity single.
Yes, Word and Go. Word and Go.
Word and
Go. Word and Go.
Maybe we get Springsteen to guest on it.
Oh yeah.
Renegades.
No, I'll do Dylan doing the.
Yeah, the words aren't important if you get Dylan to do it.
Word and Go. Here's a go, the word. Word and Go.
Here we go. Here it is.
All right, let me just.
Oh, we gotta go back.
Yeah, Yeah, babe. I'm telling you, I'm the strongest man you will.
I'm a skateboarder, but he's not a skateboarder, but he likes to hang out with the skateboarder crowd.
The East Side to our single.
Watercolor.
No, mom, no. It didn't chip because I fell. The dentist actually did it. The dentist said that I saw the dentist today.
You broke your teeth? You are a dentist's daughter.
Yeah, and after the playgrounds closed down, things got pretty tough. Kids were having fun, so drugs moved in with that came gangs, a lot of violence with that. It really fucked me up. Really made me tough. So anyway, let's watch that show Molly's on the internet. Let's see now.
Oh my God, what happened? No one's gonna marry you looking like that.
Always looked like this.
But officer, I'm only 5.
I might not refresh.
We might, yeah.
There are more.
Yeah.
Always more.
Admission to tonight's show is going to be $5.
But officer, I'm only 5.
Come on, hey Dad. Admission to tonight's show is going to be $5. What do you mean you're not going to pay? Becca and I are going to reenact the entirety of Titanic. Yeah, we're not going to watch it.
Yes.
I don't have Netflix.
Yeah.
It's a play being put on by our kids in our basement, and I still gotta pay to see it?
High five.
Is that it?
No.
No.
Oh,
God.
Let's wait.
Well,
Let's go. Let's catch up in the
Let's-
next round.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to the stories. Refresh.
oh wait.
So
So we need another word from the audience. So while you are putting in more words, we should plug Pig's Got Classes. Can you believe it? They're virtual even. You don't even have to leave your house. You wouldn't even have to put on pants even.
Right.
You could just have you'd have to have a shirt on for sure. But after that, that's up to you. That's between you and your God. So check those out. They're on improvpig.com. There's a sketch one coming up. There's a level 1 coming up. And all the info is on the website. Are there any of the teachers here?
I'm doing the level 1.
It is you are. I wasn't
May
sure.
11th.
Okay.
May 11th, Tuesday night, 7 p.m., 7 to 9. Sign up on improvpig.com.
Yeah, that's so exciting. That's great to still, because I'm going to say this. None of us are ready to re-enter society. We're all anxious and unable to socialize, and improv's going to really help out with that whole thing. So if you're anxious about that, taking a level 1 with Ian to help you remember that connecting with people is possible would be really helpful. Just if I'm just going to be honest, give everyone some honest feedback. It's true. None of you are ready.
There's lupus.
As this show is
ready.
proving.
As this show is proving, none of you are ready. None of you are ready.
More words coming in.
I have
Here
a
we go.
story
Hey.
off the word nude
Good.
that Mikey Dunn so professionally put down there. He's a hero. So for nude, in college, I was a sculpture minor. So I took a lot of sculpture classes, and then when you become a minor, you get to take the higher level ones, which are cool. That also include the live modeling. So a model would come in being nude, and we would sculpt her in clay, right? And then we were supposed to have 2 models, a female form and a male form, and so we had the female, but then I guess for whatever reason the male model didn't come through. So the teacher was like, "Do any of you have any friends?" And it was like, there was only 3 of us in this class because it was like sculpture 401 or some, they too many prereqs for anyone else to take it. So it was like only 3 of us, and we were like, "What? You want us to ask one of our friends to just stand nude in front of us to do a sculpture?" Because it was a professional model that did this. It did nude modeling. So the first model was we were fine with it. It was easier. But then we were and it's just gonna be one of our classmates, But the professor was like, "Yeah, no, they could keep their underwear on." So, and they're like, and it's paid too. So I was like, "Oh, I could probably find someone to keep their underwear on." So I had this friend whose nickname was Bobo in college. And that probably explains most of the personality of that gentleman, because his nickname was Bobo, which I have also coincidentally have also had a nickname Bobo, but it was from a little kid who called me Bobo because she couldn't say bowler. But this Bobo was I think it's from different. But anyways, so I was like, "Would you do this? It's paid. You get to just stay in your underwear." And he was like, "Yeah," yeah, so yeah, and he would just, and then he didn't know what to pose, right? He doesn't have any model experience, so we're like, "Why don't you Captain Morgan it?" So that ended up being the pose that he took, was just a Captain Morgan pose with the knee up and in his boxers, and they were these loose boxers that we had to try to sculpt. which is really hard. Fabric is not easy to sculpt. It was a weird thing, because then we also debated, like, do we sculpt the boxers or do we add a penis that we've never seen, and testicles, you know what I mean? Like, and it was a weird moment to, like, we had just gotten through sculpting breasts and nipples, and so it was to get there, you have to make a choice.
So you never got to learn how to sculpt a penis?
Not properly trained.
Oh, what a moment to come back in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I learned it properly. It was a Catholic college, and maybe that was part of it. But it was such a weird thing that, like,
they say it's never too late to learn a new passion or an art.
Yeah, I would keep at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember the model, like, she came in and she had like a plastic shopping bag, and she just was like she just walked in the room, turned on the space heater, got naked, put all her clothes in the plastic shopping bag, put it next to the space heater, sat in the stool, crossed her legs, and was just like, and I was like, okay, we go. Like, I don't know, it was just, and this was like a 3-hour, like, because you have like those, like, art, studio classes, so it was like a 3-hour class. So you're just like in this hot room with this naked woman sculpting her.
And they must get so bored just sitting in the same position.
Yeah.
For 3 hours. Like,
yeah,
you can't bring a book.
Sure. But so again, to speak to like I think she was a pro, like, so she's like done it so many times that, like, she like trained, whatever. But to speak to Bobo's personality further, he like never seemed bored. So I think he was just always kind of like, this is fine. I could stand in the Captain Morgan pose for 3 hours. Great. So,
I used to I was a custodial technician at a health center, or in other words, I used to clean a gym, and the fellas in the locker room, they're around like 10 or 11 on a weekday. They always have their socks on. They've never got their underwear on, and there's almost always one foot up on a bench. It's kind of like the Captain Morgan thing you mentioned, but nobody wants them to look that way, and nobody's trying to turn them into art.
Yeah. I think that's a truism of like YMCA, like gyms with older males in it, right? I walk in and I'm like, oh, please, just not the Captain Morgan.
Yeah, that's it. There's always a Captain Morgan.
There's always a Captain Morgan in the black socks.
Yeah, and the socks go up high too.
High, in fact,
go up high.
They need one of those sock suspenders. That's the only thing's missing.
That's not the only thing they need suspenders.
No,
for.
they need. Hey,
oh, that was a low blow.
Pepper's got a bit.
Yeah, Pepper's inspired by that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, I want to be one of those old guys at the gym someday.
That's the goal.
You're living rent free in everybody's head. The power you have over so many people just by little naked Captain Morgan. The power would go right to my head.
It would, yeah. Jared's never seen the inside of the workout room. It's just the locker room. He just stands there all day.
It's the only thing that'll get me to go back to the gym.
That's what you probably do in the gym, practicing Captain Morgan.
They all think he's a professional.
I'm using it.
Everyone thinks he's a soccer player because he just keeps buying these like knee-high socks, but he's just naked.
He's just naked.
But the problem isn't with nudity or the naked, body, but just the one leg up.
It's the boldness of it. It's the I want to be seen of it all. Like, I don't care. Like, be comfortable in your own body. That's not it. It's you're doing as much as you can to include me in your nakedness, and that's fine. I don't want
presentation.
Like, it is.
Yeah. You've turned your junk into a pendulum, and you're putting it on as much like tactile motion display as possible.
Yeah. And it's like looking into a time machine mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I avoid that? Can I avoid that?
I'm so glad this is the show my mother decided to watch.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
like halfway through the show, like I'm watching your show right now, and this is the one.
Hi, Miranda's mom. Hi to all the parents out there.
Hi.
Hello. That's my mom.
In our defense, we haven't told any poop stories yet.
That is true. This is the longest we've gone without a poop story on all of
Yeah.
our streams.
There's always a story.
All right, should we gram it?
Yeah, let's see what we did.
Let's ram it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
Oh, refresh.
dun, dun.
Let's sing the Cram It song, everybody.
Refresh.
Refresh.
Yeah, I just like refreshed and like
I
checked to see if
refreshed.
mine
I
got out
refreshed
there.
10 times on my phone. 10 times.
5. It's refreshing. F5. That's the button on the old on the.
Yep, you're
Yeah,
right.
it's-
You're absolutely right.
Yep.
Nicely done.
Oh, the wig.
Oh no.
I think that's from a lot. Like,
Yes, and I can't hear it.
Yeah.
I think mine just got in. Can you refresh one more time?
Anytime I get to see more of the wig is fine. I'm sure our viewers feel similarly.
You might need to
I think we're
read
gonna have to go forward. I think this is from like this afternoon.
Down to the candy store.
There we go.
Told you it was
There we
2
go.
streets to the right.
That's from
Gave you
this
wrong
afternoon.
directions.
Oh no.
Just be
It's still gold, Sharon.
Why are you
Oh, yeah,
telling
we
me
should flip
this
through
now?
all the way back
Mm.
to the beginning.
Also, I changed my mind about the margarine. I really don't get what's going on here.
Oh, is this? Wait.
Yeah, we need to. We need to move ahead a little bit.
Hey, yeah, I'd love.
So many.
And when I say a little bit, I think a lot.
Yeah, you can kind of see at the top like how long ago each
Oh.
to help keep track of like
Oh, I see. Yeah, didn't rehearse
the
this
trick.
part.
Live comedy.
Do.
Like,
Oh, I think that first Ian one.
Yeah, this is from the last set. Perfect.
yeah, this is perfect.
Sir, I'm only 5. Okay, here's the plan. Now, we're at the farmer's market, right? You start with a musical song, a whole number. Try to get all the vendors into it and everything. I'm gonna go, and I got my chopping thing, and I'm just gonna load it with vegetables, farm fresh eggs, everything. Yeah, but you gotta really sell the musical number. I'm gonna get caught.
Hey mom, hey dad. Admission to tonight's show is gonna be $5. What do you mean you're not gonna pay? Becca and I are gonna reenact the entirety of Titanic. Yeah, no, we're not gonna watch it. I don't have Netflix.
It's a play being put on by our kids in our basement, and I still gotta pay to see it?
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, I'm so glad that I've been your TA for like 3 semesters. So this art class, we're gonna do nude modeling. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off all my clothes and I'm called running. Why are you running away?
I have asked you out like multiple times by now, but this time this is purely for educational purposes. All you have to do is just get mute.
Hey, I'm your model for today. Yeah, no, totally free. Yeah, I'll just take everything off right now. I'm really happy to do it. Oh, you want me to keep my underwear on? Oh, that's gonna be extra.
Yeah, so I know this is my first swim lesson, but I feel really uncomfortable. Can I like give you money so I can just put my clothes on and then I'll just jump in.
Wait, so you couldn't get a professional nude model, so one of our classmates is gonna model nude now? This is a history class.
Yes, this sculpture is absolutely. Oh. Have you ever seen a penis before?
I just like feel like we have a real deep connection together, you know, I'm just like feeling so much between us. Oh, I know you're just the nude model from my art class, but this life.
Hi, so I'm so happy to be taking Writing 101. My name's April. I'm a freshman. I'm undecided, but I'm going to do communications. And a fun fact about me is that my favorite color is green.
Hey, young Jared, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be an old naked man.
Thank you so much. I need so many hours for my proctology license, and just a little bit too much force there. You're helping.
Well, you gotta get an elevator to lift them up. Ay, 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 ay,
Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it. Or that was
So,
I mean, I could hear you saying "old naked man" all day.
Justin, that was a very like Gene from Bob's Burgers line.
I also feel like,
So
Justin,
true.
I didn't know you were an impersonator because I feel like that was Kid Jared, like to the T.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Been harboring this dream
Jared,
for a long time.
Not nice to you.
It's I guess I would picture that person to be like a much nicer, better person than Gran Torino. Like
That's not a high bar.
Sitting on the stool instead of talking to it would be a higher bar. Why can't I remember his name? He's a very famous actor.
Clint
Clint
Eastwood.
Eastwood? Clint Eastwood.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He also has been known to put his foot up at the gym.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a little known fact. Yeah.
Yeah,
Big time Captain Morgan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's a regular. Well, it's not called an abacus. What's the thing with the?
Oh yeah, like the little office desk toy gravity
Pendulum
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
The
pendulum.
psychiatrist
Yeah.
toy.
You
I
feeling
feel like
lucky,
that
punk?
too, though.
Cluckety nuts.
They're not a word for this.
Yeah, that's the brand name.
It's not
Cluckety
you.
nuts.
Yeah, the clickety nuts. Yeah, I know those.
that trademark.
No, it's like
TM patent
it's
pending.
named after the person who like figured that out.
The
Yeah, Peter Clickety.
Motion thing.
What was that name, Bagley? Beer.
Peter Clickety.
Pretty clickety. That's
Yeah,
right.
beer clickety. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all that. I want some of that clickety nut money. You know what I'm saying?
Clickety nut money.
I think we all want that clickety nut money. And that's our show, everybody.
Yeah.
We are back here in 2 weeks and have another Word and Go show come up. We always have a new cast every time so far. And I bet that trend keeps going. That's what I bet. Thanks for joining us tonight and have a great night, everybody. Good